Hello, basketball people, we have news. Let's go to more news about the Golden State Warriors. I ask you to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, as I am a Warriors fan. The Warriors have a talented roster of young players who could be future stars. But Warriors owner Joe Lacob has said he wants to win now, and to get top players, he will have to give up promising young players. Brandon Podziemski and Moses Moody are expected to be traded in order for the Warriors to bring in an elite center. The Warriors are interested in signing big man Kristaps Porzingis. Golden State Warriors general manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. is up for a big offseason. The team's shot caller has done a solid job thus far in his tenure, though a pivotal summer is coming. Behind Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green, the Warriors have the makings of a team capable of capturing one last title. How Golden State builds around the trio will make all the difference, though. There was a glaring need for perimeter shooting and a solid big man for the Warriors this past postseason. With the way the NBA landscape is shaking out, the Warriors might be able to address those needs in a trade. The Boston Celtics saw Jason Tatum suffer a season-ending injury in the playoffs. They'll want to avoid the second apron next season, as they'll be handicapped in roster-making ability and be stuck with a high tax bill, all to not compete for a title. Trading high-salaried players would make sense, as they essentially take an off year with Tatum sidelined. The Warriors, in this scenario, could target Celtics star center Kristaps Porzingis, who would help the team add both shooting and size. The Latvian star recently got a big update, too. The prevailing thought among league executives is the Celtics will need to include draft capital in a trade offloading Kristaps Porzingis' $30.7 million expiring contract. Evan Sideri shared on X, Boston is very open to moving Porzingis, as their top goal will be to dodge the second apron this offseason. The idea that the Celtics would need to attach capital to move Porzingis is interesting. This could mean the price is lowered to land the 7'3" talent in a trade. It'd be a gamble for the Warriors, as Porzingis has had shaky availability throughout his career, but if they can trade for the star talent for a discount, they could continue to use their capital to make moves beyond the hypothetical trade with the Celtics. Warriors predicted to select underappreciated Duke prospect in 2025 draft. The Golden State Warriors enter the offseason with some key decisions to make regarding their roster as they try to build around their veteran trio of Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler. Golden State is coming off a solid season that shifted at the trade deadline when they added Butler from the Miami Heat, as he made them into a contender in the Western Conference. Unfortunately for the Warriors, an injury to Stephen Curry to begin the second round against the Minnesota Timberwolves would derail their championship hopes, as they were eliminated in 5 games. Golden State Warriors stars Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry. Troy Terramina main images. Now the Warriors enter the offseason trying to retool their roster around their aging trio to chase a title next season. Of course, it all starts in the 2025 NBA draft for Golden State, where they have just one second-round pick. The Warriors hold the 41st overall pick, and a mock draft created by Clutch Points Brett Siegel has them selecting an underappreciated Duke prospect, Shawn James. Shawn James was the most underappreciated Duke player this season. Cooper, Flagg, Common, Maluak, and Con Newpel were the stars of the team, but James was the veteran leader who set the tone for the Blue Devils' elite defense, Siegel wrote. Along with being a strong defender, James was one of the more reliable three-point shooting threats in college this past year. Siegel makes a great point that James was overlooked by Flagg, Maluak, and Newpel, all of whom he has being top 10 selections. Despite James being overlooked, he put together a great senior season at Duke, where he averaged 8.6 points, 4.2 rebounds, 2.9 assists, and 0.8 steals per game, while shooting 51.6% from the field and 41.3% from three-point range. Duke Blue Devils guard Shawn James, 14, shoots against Louisville Cardinals forward James Scott, 0. Bob Donnan main images. The 22-year-old is a great defender, and he has also improved his three-point shooting, which would fit well off the bench for the Warriors. James would provide a spark off the bench for Golden State, which is something they needed during the playoffs, and if they elect to make other roster moves, he could be a key part of yet another deep playoff run next season. Jonathan Kuminga gets $7.9 million contract update amid uncertain Warriors future. It would be virtually impossible for Jonathan Kuminga to enjoy a stress-free offseason. With the 22-year-old forward seeing a reduced role with the Golden State Warriors changing after the organization acquired Jimmy Butler in February, there's no telling what the future holds for the former lottery pick. On Monday, Kuminga received a pivotal contract update 3 weeks before the start of free agency. The Warriors are expected to tender him a $7.9 million one-year qualifying offer, making him a restricted free agent, ESPN's Bobby Marks said. With Brooklyn as the only team to offer a starting salary of $20 million or more, Golden State would have the right to match. The best option could be exploring a sign-and-trade. There are 2 challenges in a sign-and-trade besides Kuminga having to sign at least a 3-year contract with the first season guaranteed. First, only 50% of Kuminga's outgoing salary is used in a trade, not the full amount. For example, if the salary in the first year is $30 million, $15 million counts as outgoing salary and $30 million is incoming for the acquiring team. Kuminga was trending in the right direction early in the season. After notching 14.4 points per game alongside Stephen Curry in November, Kuminga joined the 20-plus points per contest club in December. The NBA champion contributed 21.0 points nightly during the 3rd month of the season, giving optimistic Warriors fans the illusion that he had finally turned the corner. However, Kuminga's tenure with the Dubs took a devastating turn after missing time with an ankle sprain and struggling to adjust with Butler in the fold. Kuminga responded well after getting benched in April, shining in the organization's second-round playoff series against the Minnesota Timberwolves. Still, Steve Kerr recently stated that Kuminga isn't the best win-now fit with the new-look Warriors, casting doubt on his status with the franchise. Golden State still has ample time to decide what it wants to do with. New report on Warriors backing away from key free agent. The Warriors may choose their youth over an NBA champion and former All-Star in free agency. NBA free agency is roughly 3 months away and teams are figuring out how to best use the limited spending money they have. Most franchises are fighting against tax aprons and trying to find workarounds, whether that's with exceptions or trades. The Golden State Warriors are no different. They realize they have an older cast of stars with Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, and Jimmy Butler, so they're looking for ways to best supplement them as they start. One free agent the Warriors were expected to target is Brook Lopez, who is not expected to be back with the Milwaukee Bucks after 7 seasons there, winning a championship in 2021, and finishing as the runner-up Defensive Player of the Year in 2023. His age, 37-year-old, interior presence, and three-point shooting all would have fit with the Warriors. However, Tim Kawakami of the San Francisco Standard believes the team may not go after Lopez in favor of developing their young big, Quinton Post. April 15, 2025, San Francisco, California, USA, Golden State Warriors center Quinton Post, 21, reacts after making a 3-point basket against the Memphis Grizzlies in the second quarter at the Chase Center. Mandatory credit, Carrie Edmondson main images / Carrie Edmondson main images. I've said stretch 5 before, as a free agency target, I don't think it's gonna be stretch 5 now, Kawakami said on the Warriors Plus Minus podcast with Anthony Slater. I don't think it's going to be Brook Lopez. I think they're going to try and lean on Quinton Post. Post averaged a solid 8.1 ppg and 3.5 rpg while shooting 40.8% from 3 in just 16 mpg and 42 games. That's good for a rookie second-round pick. And he'll be cheaper than Lopez would be. Lopez had a decent season too, averaging 13 ppg and 5.0 rpg and shooting 37.3% from deep. But his mobility isn't what it used to be, which could impact his defensive usefulness moving forward. Warriors' dream offseason trade scenario may be over before it even began. Don't get your hopes up on this blockbuster trade. Speculation has run rife on the future of Giannis Antetokounmpo over recent weeks, but it seems the dream of the Golden State Warriors trading for the 2x Finals MVP may be over before it even began. After a disappointing third straight first-round playoff exit for the Milwaukee Bucks, and with Damian Lillard's devastating torn Achilles injury putting a huge dent in their hopes for next season, Antetokounmpo's future quickly emerged as the biggest storyline of this offseason. That gained significant credibility when ESPN's Shams Charania reported a month ago that Antetokounmpo was open-minded about determining where his future lies, yet there now seems to be growing pessimism on the superstar forward actually requesting a trade from Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokounmpo may be staying with the Bucks after all. Speaking during Tuesday's episode of Get Up, ESPN's Brian Windhorst seemingly poured cold water on the hopes Golden State and others may have of acquiring Antetokounmpo in the coming weeks or months. Right now, there is no Giannis Antetokounmpo trade market, there is no Giannis Antetokounmpo trade discussions. He has not asked for it. The Bucks are not looking to trade him, Windhorst said. Of course, things could change at any second if Antetokounmpo requests a trade, and perhaps he's waiting on the official conclusion of this NBA season before announcing his intentions one way or the other. However, there does appear to be growing sentiment on the 30-year-old remaining loyal to the Bucks and trying to work things out even despite Lillard's horror injury blow. It's not all terrible for the Warriors, who would likely be negatively impacted by a blockbuster Antetokounmpo trade. Honestly, if they themselves can't get their hands on the Greek freak, then having him stay at the Bucks and in the Eastern Conference is the best possible result rather than have him join a Western Conference rival. Golden State have been arguably the team most strongly linked to Antetokounmpo over recent years, particularly with strong reports that owner Joe Lacob has a dream of pairing the 9X All-Star with franchise legend Stephen Curry. The idea of having one of the most dominant interior forces of all time play alongside the greatest shooter of all time is a tantalizing prospect, but the hopes of turning it into reality appear slim despite all the speculation over the last month. Antetokounmpo averaged 30.4 points, 11.9 rebounds, 6.5 assists and 1.2 blocks per game this season, finishing third in MVP voting behind Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Nikola Jokic. It was incredibly his seventh straight top 4 MVP finish, having won the award twice in 2019 and 2020. Warriors expected to pair NBA champion Bucks forward with Steph Curry, Jimmy Butler. The Golden State Warriors acquired Jimmy Butler ahead of the trade deadline, pairing him with superstar Steph Curry. While they appeared to be in a position to contend, an injury to the latter derailed their season in the second round. While the franchise reportedly has interest in acquiring a superstar this summer, it is unclear if they will be able to turn those plans into a reality. Golden State may have a more realistic target and option, as Jake Fisher of the Stein line revealed that they are set to pursue a forward from the Milwaukee Bucks' 2021 championship-winning roster. Team executives expect Bobby Portis to have numerous potential landing spots in the mid-level market as well, although Milwaukee would like to bring back the 30-year-old forward, sources say, the Stein line's Jake Fisher wrote Wednesday. Golden State has always been a team to monitor for Portis, who has a notable fan and head coach Steve Kerr from their shared days during the 2023 FIBA World Cup competition with USA Basketball. Portis has spent the past 5 seasons in Milwaukee, becoming a fan favorite. He appeared in just 49 games this season, however, after testing positive for the banned substance tramadol. The two-time finalist for the NBA's 6th Man of the Year award averaged 13.9 points, 8.4 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 0.7 steals and 0.5 blocks in 25.4 minutes per game while shooting 46.6% from the field, 36.5% from three-point range and 83.6% from the free throw line. Portis has a $13.4 million player option for 2025-26, however, he is expected to decline it and enter unrestricted free agency. Warriors a team to monitor for Portis in free agency. The Warriors likely will look to add size this NBA offseason, and there's one name that could be a fit. NBA insider Jake Fisher believes Milwaukee Bucks veteran forward Bobby Portis, who declined his $3.8 million player option and will be an unrestricted free agent this offseason, could be a Golden State target this summer. Team executives expect Portis to have numerous potential landing spots in the mid-level market as well, although Milwaukee would like to bring back the 30-year-old forward, sources say, Fisher wrote in his latest column. Golden State has always been a team to monitor for Portis, who has a notable fan in head coach Steve Kerr from their shared days during the 2023 FIBA World Cup competition with USA Basketball. The 30-year-old Portis, who won a championship with the Bucks in 2021, missed a portion of the 2024-25 season due to a suspension for violating the NBA's anti-drug policy. However, in 49 games, 7 starts, he averaged 13.9 points, 8.4 rebounds, and 2.1 assists per game on 46.6% shooting from the field and 36.5% from three-point range. Golden State, for years, has been a team that many believed needs to add size, and Warriors general manager Mike Dunleavy indicated in his end-of-season press conference that he would like to do so this offseason. "That's always, I know, around here the buzzword is size," Dunleavy said on May 22. "I'd love to have an ability to play bigger with Draymond, Green, and Jimmy Butler 3 in the front court, and we can always go to our ace in the hole with Draymond at center, which we did basically from February 8 on." Might Portis be the answer?